Good day. My name is David Wild, and this is the first of a three-part lecture on Chapter 8 on Strategic Thinking and Planning from Connect Master Management 2.0. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to explain the differences between strategies and goals, to describe types of strategic decisions and what makes them unique. You'll be able to describe the cross-functional aspect of strategic decisions and explain how companies achieve strategic fit. You'll be able to evaluate a new policy based on the analysis of a firm's internal and external environment, to describe how companies make long-term decisions, to determine how companies analyze competitors. You'll be able to perform a competitor analysis, and finally, to explain how managers cope with uncertainties when making strategic decisions. So, what is strategy? An organization's mission is the reason why the organization exists. The organization's mission is intended to reflect what it ultimately takes pride in. Organizations then develop broad objectives and detailed goals that will help them to fulfill their missions. The question, however, is how organizations will achieve these broad purposes as well as specific goals. This is the essence of strategy and strategic decision making. So, in defining strategy, we can think of strategy as an integrated pattern of decisions an organization makes to achieve its objectives through resource allocation and actions in various markets. Operational decisions are those that require a decision maker to evaluate how to do things right. Doing things right is about efficiency. Strategic decisions, on the other hand, require managers to evaluate how to do the right things. Doing the right things is about effectiveness. There is also an external aspect of strategy. Actions in markets that determine whether or not the firm is successful based on the actions of competitors. How the firm allocates resources and how it competes are therefore two important components of the strategy process. So let's talk about the concept of strategies versus goals. Strategy might sound a lot like goal setting. Goals are indeed important to strategy, but in fact, the two are not exactly the same. From a definitional standpoint, goals are outcomes a company hopes to achieve, and strategies are how a company is going to achieve the goals that it identifies. Some corporations develop very detailed goals for the overall organization, as well as for their individual business units. Managers develop Level 1 goals for the organization as a whole, translate these goals into Level 2 goals for each department, and Level 3 goals for individual teams or managers. Such processes are sometimes called management by objectives, or MBO. Individuals progress toward their goals is periodically reviewed, and feedback is offered. These reviews also provide the basis for performance-based rewards for managers. Goal setting is very useful for organizations as well as the formulation and implementation of strategy. But strategy goes beyond goal setting. Strategy is fundamentally about how the firm is going to get to these goals. For example, one firm might seek to be a market leader and deliver returns to shareholders by taking steps to improve its organic growth, which is internal growth via initiatives such as developing new technologies and products. Other firms might achieve these goals by pursuing inorganic growth, which relies on acquisitions of other companies to expand and to enter into new industries. So, in summary on what is strategy, strategy is an integrated set of decisions made by managers that determine how an organization will allocate resources and how it will compete in various markets to achieve superior performance. A goal describes a desirable end, whereas a strategy details the means to that end. Senior managers have the primary responsibility for the formulation and execution of strategy, but more and more, junior managers are involved in strategic decisions. Finally, lower level managers will also be more effective in their jobs if they understand their firm's strategies and the decisions that their bosses are making. So, let's talk next about the characteristics and types of strategic decisions. Strategic decisions, i.e., how to do the right things, are not only different from operational decisions, i.e., how to do things right, but they have a number of other unique characteristics. These unique features place special demands on managers in terms of the analyses they need to do and the actions they need to take in order to be successful. So, strategic decisions include the following 5 features. First, they span across the functional areas of an entire organization. Secondly, they require fit, or what is referred to as internal and external alignment. Third, strategic decisions are typically long-term decisions, meaning more than a year. Fourth, strategic decisions are made in a competitive context. And finally, fifth, strategic decisions are surrounded by uncertainty. Managers make many different types of strategic decisions that together represent the strategy of the firm. It is therefore useful to categorize the various types of strategic decisions that can influence whether or not the firm will achieve its objectives. There is no list or catalog of strategic decisions versus others, but they come in a number of distinct categories that make up the components of a firm's strategy. These components are shown in Figure 1 on your screen taken from the book. And the 4 components of strategy are arenas, staging, vehicles, and differentiators. We'll talk about these in just a moment. These categories can help you spot strategic decisions in an organization that you work for or one that you might join in the future. So first, the area of arenas. Where will the firm be active? Managers need to choose in which product markets and countries the firms will compete. Next, staging. This refers to questions over how fast or slow the firm will expand. Managers need to choose the best sequence of the firm's moves. Next, we have the area of vehicles. How will the firm get into different product markets or countries? Managers need to choose between different vehicles for doing so, whether it be exporting, license agreements, alliances, acquisitions, building new facilities, and so on. Finally, the area of differentiators. How will the firm win? Managers need to choose how the firm will compete with direct rivals, whether it be through research and development, proximity to customers, excellent service, innovative products, and more. So, in summary, strategic decisions are different from operational decisions because they focus on doing the right things, i.e., effectiveness, rather than doing things right, i.e., efficiency. Managers generally think of strategic decisions as long-term and of significant consequence to a firm's survival and its success. Finally, strategic decisions have a number of other unique characteristics, and there are generally four categories or types of decisions that are strategic in nature: arenas, staging, vehicles, and differentiators. And with that, we end the first part of a three-part lecture on Chapter 8 on strategic thinking and planning.